there taken by McGrath. McGrath looking for Graham on centre wing. Good mark, Graham. Wants to go on two against Jarvis. Does so. The back up there from McGrath. Over half forward. The lead of Bubner. Bubner coming out from full forward on the lead, accepting it beautifully on his chest. And a good passage of play from Central, bringing that ball out of defence. Now he's a long way out from goal in these conditions. He'll be kicking from 55 metres. There goes the Bubner drop punt. Won't quite have the carry. And off hands for a boundary throw in. Central 4-9, Norwood 4-7 at the 4-minute mark of the third term. Hine in there with Bubner. Bubner won it. And then the hook over the shoulder from Connolly. That's a good goal. A beautiful goal from Stephen Connolly. And Central now bring up their fifth. They're now 5-9-39. Norwood 4-7-31.
So Hine and Cousins. Hine the tap down. Nicely taken away by McGrath. He's controlled the centre in the first 5 minutes of this term. Gallagher and Shields after him. Good backup by Aish though. Chip inside the square again. Courage, Philip Graham. Committed the body and did it well. Left foot, nice touch towards half forward. But Bruce Winter played a superb first half. Almost error-free. He's unloaded by Fraser. Krieg running again, or could have been a high grab. Over to Krieg. He's in trouble. Platten got out of it, but put Cousins in the shotgun area and pulled for holding the ball in an inevitable sort of thing. And so Jarvis. Centre wing, down goes Aish. That's a little bit obvious. Michael Aish, Magarey medalist. Had some trouble, as all players have had trouble with his greasy ball today, with a high drop punt. Back spot, Roberts. Half forward line, McIntosh. Head down, tail up, as usual. Trying to work the ball is Bohm. And back to Roberts. Taylor, Menzel. Had Rowan Hellier, but straightened up somewhat, and Cousins slams the ball to the line. Good defensive move by the defensive ruckman for the throw-in.
Central 39, Norwood 31. Cousins won it, and Connolly got the kick, but it was smothered. Now at Michael Aish the chance, but he drops it. But he's won the free kick. Didn't have the ball, according to the umpire. Well, I thought he had it and lost it while he was being tackled.
Like 50-50, isn't it? Because half the crowd scream yes, half the crowd scream no. I'd hate to be an umpire.
Well, the important thing as far as Norwood's concerned is the umpire ruled in Aish's favour, and now from 35 metres, he kicks a goal. And they are hard to come by today. In fact, they're as scarce as hen's teeth. Norwood bring up their fifth. Norwood 5-7-37, trailing Central 5-9-39. Cousins having a rest, and it was O'Reilly who went on.
Bytheen, Platten, Winter to Menzel. So there's some very close quarter stuff at the moment. Round the corner comes O'Reilly, did it well. And the small chip shot. It's not well directed. Aish, the receiver. Oh, another suicide handball. And gee, that's two in important areas of defence then for the legs. That's kamikaze stuff. McGrath had some good touches in this third term, or snuck through by Aish. Did it well. Now recovers for his own hand pass. Plenty of time, but a free's been given. That could have been disadvantaging his own side, because Taylor went straight across to where Aish was. The shovel forward by Gallagher. The pick up by Ross, and he's dumped. So some pretty hard body work going on in these crushes now. Certainly no place for the faint-hearted. At an important time of the third term, 2 points the difference. Bytheen. Hellier the interceptor. Shields in there as well. Rene Van Dommel says, oh, well, that won't come out of that lot. And again, the umpire's work starts.
2 points the difference at the 12.5-minute mark. Central in front. And Central into attack. They go further forward too. Down towards Bubner. Behind it was Barm, but Crumbs now chance to pick up by Winter, who slid off it. And then Fraser snaps. And I won't try to decipher what Neil Barm said then, but he wasn't happy. I can assure you of that. That was a brilliant snap by Fraser. And just when it seemed as if Craig Barm and Bruce Winter had it covered, they were fiddling around in the square. Winter trying to grab it, but he slid away from it, and the Crumbs picked up and hooked over the shoulder there by Fraser. And Central District creep away to an 8-point lead, 6-9 to 5-7.
I'd call that 2 sneaky goals by Fraser. Brilliantly read. Kelly all did it well. Again, Shields having an important part too. Across this centre line, he's beginning to get on top of Gallagher, and this man, Peter Bytheen, kicks like a bull. He's 45 metres out. Into the breeze, the breeze on your screen travelling left to right, and light rain falling. Bytheen's nice looking kick. Drop punt, splits the centre. He's got himself his first, and Central 7-9, Norwood 5-7.
Up towards half forward. Thomas, clever footwork. And finally gets his kick back to centre wing. Jarvis to Aish. And now Keith Thomas onto his left boot. Down towards McIntosh. Now behind play. There's a little to do. And as a result, Norwood, I'm sure, will pick up the free kick down there, almost towards right half forward. Graham, Hellier, Jarvis among a big pack of players, but McIntosh with the free, sending Norwood forward. Now 3 Central defenders as Thomas picks it up and kicks out wide. Hearn will be first to it. In fact, it won't be Hearn. Shields onto his left boot in towards the middle of the ground, but finds Taylor for Norwood. Towards centre half forward, the lead of Roberts. It's hard to hold those greasy marks overhead. Roberts goes again, goes down, but tackled high. And Neville Roberts goes in short, too far out to score, so he finds Gallagher, who played on for mine. I thought he played on.
Yes, Martin, couldn't agree more. That natural turn that he's got onto his right foot, he was off okay.
Well, luckily for him, the umpire doesn't agree. So Gallagher still with the ball at right half forward. Going into a more central spot, a little closer to goal too, and he's picked out Ross. Now Ross could still be too far out to score. It's a congested forward line. And Ross, the former back pocket player, would still be a good 50 metres out from goal. Runs in, gives it plenty. Makes the distance. Has he made the accuracy? He has. Good kick by Lester Ross. And Norwood pick one back. Norwood now 6-7, 43. Central 7-9, 51.
Hine off. Danny Jenkins back on. The hurried kick by the Bear. It's not well directed though, and that's been the delight of both defences at the moment, with the players kicking very high and loosely. Pays, down he goes. Nicked by Hearn to Platten. He's in trouble from Aish. Knocks it over to the enemy rover and then tries to get it back. That was brilliant, but there's a bit of dirty work at the crossroads further back on the half-back line, and it's going to go the way of Hearn. So while the 2 Rovers were having a good battle, so were those 2 men. Off hands. And again, umpire's getting a little picky, I think, at the moment. These packs, I suppose, getting tired of throwing the ball up and bouncing it and working their way through. And so O'Reilly. Short to Bytheen. Good tap forward. Picked up well Connolly. Bends one back. Difficult ball to catch, but that's brilliant. Bruce Winter, as if it was dry. Oh, I think he's gone and messed it up. Krieg the get. And pushed. Fraser wants it in the pocket. Bytheen wants it further. Short, a stabbing pass, and did it very, very well to this young man. Very clean at the moment is Fraser. But has 2 goals, kicked 1 in the first and 1 so far this quarter. Both brilliant reads off packs. Distance could be a little bit troublesome with a heavy wet ball. Well, that's a nice kick. Front of the square on the apron. Off hands through for the point. So Central 7-10, 52. They lead Norwood 6-7, 43.
The ruckman to contest it. In go Cousins. And went straight through the hands there of Maynard, who won it again out to Ross. It was brought down. 3 Central players as Bohm picks it up and drives towards half forward. Fisted away. Now again, Central with the numbers as Graham picks it up. Had Van Dommel with him. Kicks it in long towards with the break. Allowed 2 or 3 metres then from Craig Baum. And that was too much latitude as far as Peter Bubner was concerned. He was able to hug in the mark on his chest, and now he has a big chance to kick his first goal as he's only 30 metres out. Virtually straight in front. No problems from there. And Central District move along now to 8 goals 10, 56. Norwood 6-7, 43. The margin 13 points.
Jeez, McIntosh done some work in the last 5 minutes. There he is, 14 at the back. He's blocked, stopped, grabbed, got rid of, like he's just done there. To advantages Thomas. In there's little Payne. Aish, look at the minder after him. Rowe. Beautifully done. Pryor. So Centrals can work the ball out of their defensive zone. Wide. Here's a one-on-one battle. Winter and Fraser. Cool, gets a bit of a help. Yes, says umpire Graham Hilton. And that was a little bit obvious then. In the packs it's been going on all day, but at a 1-to-1, clearly seen by the man in white. So Winter from centre wing. Aish at the back is Michael Aish. Roberts makes the lead. He's been beautifully guarded by Pryor all day today, and that's been a brilliant bit of work. Connolly, he's had a ton of kicks in this 3rd term, but Button's decided to drop back on the defensive line. And, had a bit of a go himself because he didn't like the kick, and down goes umpire Graham Hilton. He wondered where that came from, and look at the concern from Neil Button, because he was the player that offended against Bytheen for the close attention. At least he maintains a sense of humour. 15 metres. That'll be the first time I'd suggest that Graham Hilton's been tackled like that for a while. Shields. And Taylor. And Platten. And he's clear. He's skilled enough to do it. And he's done it. That's goal 3. Central Districts go to 9-10. Norwood 6-7.
And what a sensational passage of football. Out here on centre wing, we had the confrontation between Bytheen and Button. It ended up involving umpire Hilton. And then finally play went on down towards that central goal, and Johnny Platten racing in, slamming through his 3rd. And now it's still on at half forward. Bytheen and Kelly, Hellier there. Tempers really flared at the moment as this game has really come to life. This is torrid stuff at Football Park. Almost at the 14-minute mark, and it's 2 goals in favour of the Bulldogs.
Norwood knowing that they've got to do it. Central Districts knowing that they've got to defend against it. Hannon. McGrath. High tackle, same spot. Play on call. It's advantaged to John Platten at full forward, and Central Districts the first thrust for the first 10 minutes in the final term, and it's Peter Bubner, the man that with this breeze could certainly make the distance. And this one could cause problems for the Norwood camp should he pot it. At the moment, 2 goals the difference. The interchange is on. O'Reilly takes the ground. Cousins off. Bubner is offline. So that point, 9-11. And that one could be a critical point. That is 13 points the difference. So if Norwood come back with 2 goals, they still have to make up the 3rd. Short to Button. He now goes long. Norwood beginning to kick the ball long into this breeze. Shaw, Rowe just let him go 2 metres then. And here's a champion with the ball. At centre wing. Short, Albie Menzel. Across the line. Picks up Lester Ross at half forward. Back to Menzel in the triangle. Runs the ball to Thomas. Trouble for Central Districts. He's done it. And Keith Thomas has kicked a beauty. And they come back strongly at the 15-minute mark of the final term. Well, what a bit of running from Menzel. The player that set it up was Aish. Saw Menzel, had the common sense to go to him, and he ran the ball down. And finally it was Thomas to receive and potted his first goal. So now Bubner having a run on the ball. The players down, Lester Ross at half forward. McIntosh, he's lifted his work rate if that's possible. Down to Bone. Out wide, Balm, front spot. Mark not paid. The appeal for holding the ball is disallowed. And Grant O'Reilly doesn't like that at all. And the chant of Centrals goes up. But Bruce Winter won't hear any of that. He clears quickly from fullback. Over the top goes Hearn. Down to Platten. Puts the body in where Angels fear to tread. He's grabbed without possession and must get that free. So from the half-forward flank, it's John Platten. 100 game at a day. Short or inside Norwood. Haven't checked this man who drifted down from centre wing. In Bunga Hearn. Normally, half-back flanker or plays across his half-back line. And goals are at a premium at the moment. Drop punt. Oh, has the half-back flanker done it? Oh, loves it, he has. And that's a very valuable goal to the Bulldogs. 10 goals, 11 to Norwood, 8-10. At the back, Bubner. Menzel waits, won't come to him. Aish. Round the corner. And a huge pack of players. There must be 25 players, 26 around there as Connolly goes with the ball and puts it down towards centre wing. It'll be cut off then by the defence. Michael Taylor. Graham Hilton, who found himself in trouble before, now finds himself very close to the action again. Short to Gallagher. Much wider. Hine, he just didn't have the room to move, neither the big frame to get down to the ball. Menzel ducked the head, and out he goes. But I believe paid the free for being tackled while not in possession. And Menzel, Norwood looking for Rovers. His first game back for some time. Over the top, Bubner.
Held on despite being outscored in the final quarter. For Central, Platten playing his 100th game, kicked 3 goals. Fraser kicked 2, and for Norwood, Payne kicked 3 goals, and Michael Aish 2. Footy punt, a dividend there of $8 even.
Got time to pick it up, have a look, come in towards the centre. Oh, complete miss kick. Michael Taylor says thank you.
Almost picked him out, didn't he? There's never anybody there for Centrals as Taylor drives. Out comes Neville Roberts, couldn't handle the mark. Jarvis comes through with plenty of power and pace. Paul Connolly, very high on Roberts. Roberts, the offensive free kicks, and that one would have hurt. Finds Gallagher.
Oh, he played on.
I don't think Trevor Ray gave him a chance to. I think you're entitled to look around and boom.
Yeah, I suppose that's the way it'd have to be played, but one detects that Philip Gallagher would have been very pleased to be able to move around on that, but it'd be pretty hard to ping him, wouldn't it?
Trevor Ray said, what's your hurry? Kick across ground, finds the bearded Lester Ross. They just watched Ray. Then as soon as he left Gallagher, he made a beeline for Michael Aish. But he wasn't able to do much about it. Somebody else had picked him up. Ross a long way out, but with the aid of the breeze, and that's his first goal for the game, and a vital one for Norwood. 6 goals, 7. Central District 7-9. Yes, well, they picked that goal up with a minimum of fuss, Norwood. They are a very professional side. They don't muck around. They keep their eye on the ball and just keep boring in and wait for things to happen for them. And it finally did. Clever goal. And they drag closer to Central by 8 points. They are now 8 points behind Central. 7-9 Central, 6-7 Norwood.
Ball up from umpire Hilton. Sees Hine win the tap. Beautifully read by Thomas, but he couldn't take it with him. Picks up a free kick for his trouble line. Keith Thomas in the middle. Kicks over half forward. Roberts high, couldn't take it. Now he's down on the ground and picked the ball up. Had nowhere to go. Had the handball away. Platten the pickup. Thomas running from the back pocket. Beautiful kick forward. Oh, off hands. Has to play it on, and he does. Right into the full forward position for Peter Bubner, who's first out. He's got Robert Fraser. Robert Fraser ducks and has a look. Can't do it on the left foot. Oh, there's trouble. Rowan Hellier upset that little run. Van Dommel could have taken it. Peter Bubner out of the pack. Ball still in play. No hold up from the umpire. Bubner's got red legs all round him. Handballs to one of them.
Jarvis breaks free towards centre wing, looking for Phil Gallagher. Over his head, David Payne and Bunga Hearn, and the ball over the boundary line for the throw in. Well, that was great stalking then by Craig Barham in defence for Norwood. He knew that Fraser wanted his left boot. Fraser couldn't get onto it for the shot for goal.
Yeah, good thinking by Craig Barham.
Thrown in front of the members' stand. The ball tried to be tapped forward by Grant O'Reilly. Couldn't do it for Centrals. McIntosh at the bottom of the pack as Neil Hine comes off for a rest.
Toss up. Riley went for the big smash. Ross to Button, and Button's hurried kick goes forward. Jamie Thomas has got his eye on it. A couple of grabs. The mark hasn't been paid. Menzel picks up the crumbs, gives it to Payne. He needs support, but nowhere to go. Schwert applies the tackle. Hearn to Platten. Platten's forced to get rid of it in a big hurry. Menzel backs up once again. Platten beautifully intercepts, but the whistle is gone. It's too high, and it's going the way of Hearn.
Yeah, there was a tackle on, in fact, nowhere near the play between Ross and Hearn. It was pretty much an even contest. Bit of a wrestle, but the umpire saw it and paid it to Hearn. Big push forward sees Kelly recover from the pack, but not before the ball went out of bounds, I think. No, another free kick.
Grant O'Reilly's picked himself up a free kick. Neil Button came in a little late to spoil there. So it's Grant O'Reilly from centre wing.
Danny Jenkins back on the ground.
Bytheen and Kelly. Kelly got a fish to it. Off hands Connolly. Hook it back around his body. Fraser's got 2 to beat. Back Bruce Winter. What a great mark on the ball this character is. Third today.
Look at Barham taking off from full back too.
Whoa, here's trouble again. Winter's hand pass intercepted beautifully. It's Peter Craig.
Well done, Peter Craig. Good stuff.
He's getting the call all the way down the ground. Central starting to burn in this third quarter. Just get the feeling they got the edge, Graham.
They have definitely.
Bit of excitement, isn't there?
There's not much in it, but they just seem to have a bit more flair in their football, Keith.
Yeah, and Fraser's there. Yeah, they're just a little bit excited about going forward, just a little bit more backup. And this is a danger period for the Redlegs.
Norwood just keep hanging in there with their own style of professionalism, of course. They haven't got quite the excitement in their play that Central have had today.
That ball's gone right to the line. Spoiled off the pack. 1 point only to Central's. 7-10 now. Norwood 6-7.
Bruce Winter racing up there by himself, and Robert Fraser takes off. He might be too late. Craig Barham can only hurry his kick. No, he can't.
Off the side of the boot. The end doesn't cover a lot of meterage.
Great mark.
Brass.
That is ridiculous.
Amazing decision as Ross breaks clear and looks for Michael Aish, and Trevor Rowe sees the ball over the boundary line. Well, this one.
I wouldn't like to see Cowboy Neil right now.
Boy, oh boy.
Cousins and Button. In fact, in the end, it was nearly Maynard who tried to take it out of the air. He gets the handball out to Ross. He's besieged upon by McGrath. Play on the corner, and away goes Bohm. Long kick towards the half-forward position. Sport away from Krieg. Philip Graham and Van Dommel. 2-on-1. Jarvis had no hope. Away breaks Graham. Up towards the full-forward position. Out comes Bubner. He had a metre or 2 on Craig Barham. A good mark on the chest.
Made a lead from a long way back, and the ball had to come in accurately for him, and it did so very well indeed.
I've worked out the difference between the two sides. A little quicker they are, Central. A little quicker to the falling ball. Not a lot in it, but just enough to have a break on Norwood at this stage of the game.
9 points at this stage, and Centrals are into the breeze in this quarter. Got another one. That's 15 points the break now.
Anyone can create a product. But it takes an ingenious and dedicated people to take that.
He's got into ruck against Cousins. Hearn turns, gives it to Platten. Hurried kick forward by the Magarey medalist. Sport away off hands. Phil Graham had to get rid of it in a big hurry. Winters got one very heavily to the face. Plays allowed to go on as Bones with it. Touches the ball to the ground. And then eventually Dolly pops one up into the square, but it's all Norwood back there. Bruce Winters still down with
I think the ball hit the ball.
Well, it would be very heavy and wet today.
Yeah.
Craig Baum, meantime, has taken the mark in the last line, and he goes to the outer side. It's one-on-one out there. Maynard can't take it for him. Now Centrals with the ball over. No, good work by Maynard to get back into it and kick the ball clear, but now all Centrals jumpers again, but the ball out of play.
That was a rare moment, that the ball was kicked off the ground straight to Bruce Winters' face. You know, one of those unfortunate things that can happen on a wet day, particularly.
Bytheen front spot through his legs, stolen by Andrew Aish. Dummies the handball and decides to kick. Roberts between two players. Jenkins also thwarted by that attempt. Michael Aish already handballed it to Pryor, or Pryor read it brilliantly. He kicks it very wide and handsome towards the outer side, and it's very close to being out on the full.
Must have just bounced inside. Yep, the umpire was on the spot, and he'll throw it in half-forward flank over on the scoreboard side. Norwood into attack, and they certainly need to be. They're 15 points down, and that's a long way on a wet day. Centrals will have the breeze in the last quarter. Central's doing it well to get out of defence. Platten. Handballs over the top of the pack. Play it on, says the ump. Now, Kelly had to be held. He said, now had to be held, he said.
Unusual to see Kevin Neal coaching from the bench today. Usually he sits up in the stand.
Bytheen, Button. Bytheen got the tap. Van Dommel couldn't handle it. Platten the game on the bottom of the pack. Is McGrath going to be allowed to go? No, it will come back. John Platten, the free kick.
So Platten from the centre wing position, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving. Hey! Well, what happened then?
Call, trying to get past, and it was fair and squarely caught cold by Gary McIntosh.
McIntosh wants them to go long. That's the way he goes, towards the half-full position. Cousins with the height and spalls away. There's Menzel and Platten. And umpire Schofield toss the ball up. Approaching full time. In fact, we may have hit full time now of the third quarter.
Yeah, we're just into it. In fact, almost the 26-minute mark, Rick. Cousins tried to force it out from the half-back line. Now a chance for Bone to pick it up and run. He does that. He decides to head for Krieg, but that doesn't pay off because Michael Taylor's read it well. He shifts the ball back across the centre of the ground. Front position.
Oh, well done.
Andrew Aish doing well. Not for long, no. McGrath stole it for Platten. Now Menzel's got it. Menzel forces it forward to the half-forward line. Whoa, Thomas fell over and decided to give Keith Thomas a whack for his trouble. Thomas kept his eye on the ball, pointed it in. Good play, Pat Schwert.
Oh,
no!
Schwert wanted to play it on. Bone with it now. They'll get out of it. Back to Patrick Schwert. McIntosh very close to him as Schwert gets his kick away. Phil Graham
his head.
Handle it.
Ducked his head.
Taylor from behind repels the attack. Now the Redlegs to the half-forward line. Maynard, Jenkins. Jenkins has got plenty of time. Couldn't pick it up. In comes Cousins. In comes Bone. Play allowed to go on. Thomas lends a hand. Still with Schwert and Roberts. Picked up by Thomas, and it's out of bounds.
Oh, we saw a long passage of play. The ball travelling for 2 or 3 hands with the one side, then the slippery conditions making it hard to get the ball moving. Good umpiring, though, I thought. We saw a long passage of play there without a free kick, and that's been a change. It's difficult to keep the ball moving. McIntosh moves it out. On to Thomas. Michael Aish. Plenty of pressure from Rowe as usual. And here comes Centrals again.
McGrath touches ball to ground and drives centre wing. Now comes Bruce Winter. He's trapped it now with possession. Fraser into his back over the boundary line. And Bruce Winter the free kick. Fraser doesn't agree. Bruce Winter will be happy. A chance to put the Redlegs into attack. They need goals desperately.
Michael Aish the lead. It's where it went. Oh, well done. That player's cutting across the line of the ball, kept his eye on it.
Fantastic skill, that.
So Michael Aish drives in towards the full forward position, looking for Rocky Roberts. Not to be. Connolly's got it. Connolly drives back along the grandstand wing. Neil Button in the way. Whoa, did he get hit? Whoa. Oh, now, that's extremely unfortunate. And I think we'll just leave it.
And umpire Hilton is in a bit of trouble.
It was on the screen and he didn't fall over on his own, I can tell you that.
I can tell you it wasn't.
But why on earth did Robert Fraser buy into it? Why is he worried about umpire Hilton being knocked over?
Chain collision that caused the umpire to go down.
Yeah, sure. Robert Fraser raced over and said, cut that out or something.
With the football, John Platten streaking into a goal onto that right boot. And that's home. Central District's 9 goals, 10. Norwood 6-7, and Neil Barnes got worries.
David?
Yeah?
It's doing it again!
Bytheen will go up against Button. Button forces the ball, but Connolly read it. Connolly over the shoulder with the foot. The foot finds Shields. Shields moves the ball well forward to the half-forward line. Ball up over the top. Fraser got away with it. Now he takes Heliar off the ball.
Twinder's free kick, I think.
And Heliar looks like he's been in a title fight rather than a football match. And
yes, the
free
umpire
kick
picked that one up very quickly.
Bruce Winter with the free kick. Not a lot of movement. There is
direction
now.
of play. I thought he might.
Jarvis has given him a lead in the centre of the ground. Patrick Schwert came out, backed his judgment, lost out. Jenkins, Gillespie Ross will look for Jarvis. Will he? No, he's going to get back inside Patrick Schwert and drive long across the ground. Gallagher.
He'll go long.
Gallagher's had 8 marks today. Very good effort in wet conditions, and this is kick number 10. Tried the long torpedo one, up goes Payne. Off hands, chance for Menzel. He needs a bit of support, gives it back to Payne, it looks to be. Saved by Payne, and it's a goal. The Redlegs on the way back, 7 goals, 10. Central's 9-10.
Yes, well, a good piece of work in the centre of the ground there. Andrew Jarvis, Bruce Winter started it all. He switched direction of play. It's an old ploy of coaches when play gets bottled up, try the other side of the ground. That's exactly what Bruce Winter did. He came across, found Andrew Jarvis, who got the ball moving. Finally, it ended up in the hands of David Palm with a lot of hurry and scurry in the forward line. And David Palm, Payne this time made no mistake. It's his 3rd goal of the game.
12 points the difference now, and the game's well and truly alive at the park. We're 11 minutes into the final quarter as Rowe moves the ball out to Connolly. It's turned back in by Centrals towards the centre half forward position. Phil Graham in position, couldn't take it. Button to Kelly, Menzel, Jarvis. Jarvis out wide. Player there is Ross. He was instrumental in the last passage of play. Oh, almost the take, not quite there though. Plenty of pressure for Payne. Central's players in possession. Bunna Hearn gets rid of it. Play allowed to go on. Central's jumpers everywhere. Connolly on towards Van Dommel. Heliar meets. Ball off the ground. Now Norwood in possession.
Kick goes forward. Rowe and Aish. Aish this time the chest mark. Norwood looking a bit more punchy at the moment and a little more confident.
Michael Aish won the battle today between Trevor Rowe and himself.
Been frustrated in the past as Roberts comes out. No, play on's been the call. Thought Roberts may have had the mark.
It looked like he'd gone down with the ball, but it wasn't there. The ball had gone over the top. A couple of players down on the ground. That's McGrath again, this time feeling the shoulder.
Still feeling that shoulder, and that was the problem earlier in this quarter.
Oh, he's hurt that time in that pack.
Could be a collarbone even.
I think he should come off the ball, lad. He's had a tough day today.
Menzel to Gallagher. Mr. Magic moves the ball in towards the centre half forward. Roberts is there. Gee, Norwood on the march back. They've come back from 21 points down. They're 12 points down, and Roberts has the ball.
Malcolm McGrath must come off, if only for a couple of moments, you know, to regroup. He's just too sick and sore to stay out there.
There's a lot of tired bodies out there. It's been a tough physical clash today. So very hard work underfoot in heavy conditions. It's Roberts with the ball. He's a long way out.
Yeah, too far out. We'd have to say he's too far out on what we've seen today. The only guy to get a goal from that far out was Peter Bythune. He staggered me with that goal he kicked. I really couldn't believe it.
Redlegs are 2 straight goals behind.
Roberts fancies himself, I tell you. He stutters.
He's driven it long. It's going to go right to the wire. Spalled away from behind. Menzel and Platten chase after it. Through comes Bohm. And the throw-in will be in that left forward pocket region.
It's been a good move bringing Stephen Bohm on the ground. He's added much-needed pace to the back line of Central District.
Cousins against Maynard. Cousins got the ball down. Platten takes it out of the pack. Pryor in front, couldn't take it. Graham, he misses it. Gallagher traps it. Oh, well read Gallagher. Onto the left boot. Into the danger zone for Centrals. They punch it away. Platten's there. Will they get out of it? He can't read it. Aisha's picked it up. That was Andros. Platten again. Well, the fly is on. And now Neil Button booms one back into the forward line for the legs. Gallagher for the fly, couldn't take it. Back to Centrals.
Towards Shields to Pryor to Platten to Graham. And Central slowly working out of defence. Peter Krieg, it slipped out of his hands. Button will repel him. Boom it back into the forward lines. Out comes Danny Jenkins, couldn't handle it, and down they go again.
Oh, this is rugged stuff. Top football for the conditions.
It's absolutely desperate football by both teams, and they really are declaring themselves for this ball.
14 minutes gone, only 12 points the difference. The legs against the breeze, but they just seem to have gained the edge in the last few minutes.
Is McGrath, he's still on with that quick shoulder, and now he's got one to the head, so he's in the sorry way. Playing on as Platten streaks away. Through the centre of the ground, over the half-forward line, and he finds Butner.
Now, you see, that was a classic example of what you must do.
And it's crazy that the crowd is booing the umpire. He made the right decision.
You don't worry about that. It's a pro-Norwood crowd up here, but you see, to bring the ball back and award the man a free kick when the flow of play favoured Central anyhow was not the thing to do. And that was a great piece of umpiring by Bob Schofield.
Grant O'Reilly, meanwhile, on the edge, on the interchange bench, and Cousins will come off for Central Districts as Peter Bubner lines up for a very important goal to Centrals. It's not to be. 1 point only. 13 points to break here. The Dogs in front.
It'll be an important point, though, Keith.
Yeah,
it's 3 goals now to hit the front for the Redlegs. Kick comes wide. It's Neil Button. He's got a paddock. 2 or 3 steps and booms it long.
You've got to go for it, son.
Got to go.
Oh, my gosh.
That was McGrath, though. I think he's worried about that shoulder.
Yeah, sure.
Michael Aish allowed the mark. 15th kick for Aish.
The top player today, Michael Aish.
Out wide to Menzel. Menzel's got it. The handball will go to Lester Ross. Back to Menzel in the 1-2. Menzel fancies himself. No, he'll go to Keith Thomas. They've got the loose man set up. Thomas blasts away, and it's through. Redlegs are well on their way back. They move to 8 goals 10.
Bohm with it for Central Districts. Moves it down. Bohm comes out. Doesn't take the mark. Traps it though. Holds it there.
A few blokes calling a cab out there then. Hold the hand up, looking for the free kick, but the umpire wasn't having any of that.
Redlegs virtually playing one man short at the moment. Lester Ross still down with cramp on the ground with Central Districts. So Riley, who got the kick forward, but Bruce Winter was back waiting for that, and he'll drive towards the grandstand side. Payne and Hearn. Hearn spalls away. Platten comes to meet it. Bit of courage. In comes McIntosh as well. Holding on decision. Platten the free kick.
Now John Platten will be well advised to go for goal. The short kick's not on from here. He's a magnificent kick of the ball for his size. He'll land it right in the square. He's going short.
Goes short. Platten already with 3 goals today, and he's found Hearn, who is certainly closer to goal. The angle the same.
I don't know if Bunga Hearn's a great kick of the ball, though, as far as distance is concerned.
It's had a quiet day. 6 kicks today, Bunga Hearn. He's in a key position now. It's a fair way out. He's sunk the boot, and it drips. No, it goes through the middle. That's a big one for Centrals. They get back that lead to 13 points. And we're at the 18-minute mark of the final quarter.
That's the goal they needed, Central. It's their first goal for this quarter. Would you believe, kicking with what we thought was a 3 or 4 goal breeze, they've taken, 17 minutes to score their first goal for the quarter. Whereas Norwood, against this so-called breeze, have been up to the mark and kicked 2 goals 3. They certainly are a fighting side, Norwood, when the pressure is on. They've proven their character once again, but it just seems at this moment Central have got a little more to offer.
Hine, tapped forward by Rowe. Bytheen picks it up on the half volley. Drive centrals into attack again towards the pocket area. Graham, you've called it.
Yes, Rowan Hallier just had the misfortune to push Peter Bythorn as he kicked the ball, and the umpire construed it as a down-the-field kick.
It's going to be Grant O'Reilly to take the kick. It would be maybe 40 metres out on the 45-degree angle.
He hasn't proven himself to be a magnificent kicker of the ball today. He hasn't had that many kicks either. He's a right foot kick.
Attempting to dry the ball on his Guernsey.
6 kicks he's had.
There's the kick. It won't be a score. It's going to fall short. They'll fly for it. Off hands. Platten's there with Bythorn. Platten, as usual, on the bottom of the pack. Redlegs hold up that attack. They need it down the other end, though.
The bounce or the throw from umpire Hilton, grabbed out of the air by O'Reilly.
Gee, there's some fighting players, some players willing workers down there.
Now the ball out finds Bythorn. He goes for a little short one, doesn't pay off. Chipping in was Payne. Now Fraser under the left boot, it's going to go through. No, it's in the square. Platten over the ball. Another Centrals player coming through is Philip Graham. It's tight out there. The rain comes down.
Yeah, Philip Graham, who had a big say in the play in the third quarter after a very quiet first half, almost got possession then and was nearly able to score, but wasn't on.
Throw in, goes home with O'Reilly. H takes it off hands. He wanted the handball to Keith Thomas. Platten fighting hard for it. He's pulled off the ball.
It's already a free kick.
Free kick to Norwood. Across the play to Bruce Winter.
Over the mark.
Oh, now Fraser's. That's
no, he's wasting time. Professional free kick, Keith. I doubt if Campbell would have told him to do that, but he's decided to take it upon himself.
Bruce Winter now moves the ball with a sloppy kick. It'll go out of bounds, and there's no time for that now.
If you can recall last year's final against Glenelg with Central, Robert Fraser did that and got pinched about 50 metres in doing so. It's one of his little, I don't know, ideas in football.
Centrals have made a change. Phil Graham off and Brendan Little comes on. Centre of the ground. Shields, Hannum, Maynard. Finally, Hannum taps it out the side door. Through comes Michael Aish. Rene Van Dommel manages to trap the ball there with Bubner.
Two very experienced campaigners then, Michael Aish and Rene Van Dommel. It was a draw. They really put in both of them.
Goes the ball again right in the centre of the ground. Bythorn. Aish went heavily as he took the ball. No free kick.
Yeah, Brendan Little ran straight at Michael Aish then. Fair enough.
Umpire Schofield.
Nothing untoward in that.
Another throw. Bythorn and Hine. Hine that time won the tap. Down into the pack again, though. Gallagher has chipped it on. Now Norwood into attack for the first time in a few minutes. Not for long, though, possibly. Oh, well read. Maynard.
Where's he going?
Oh, a little hook back. It's going to pay off. Payne's there. Payne has to go wide, and the hand pass doesn't work.
Oh, free kick. No.
No, Rowe was over the top of Jenkins, but no free kick. Gallagher's going to back into this.
Van Dommel kicks it off the ground, and it's going to have to be Halliard. Will have to go back and get it. He's with possession now. He'll have to be quick. Weaves between two players and drives it back. Time running out for the Redlegs. They need a couple of quick goals. Bohm, Payne will give it to Andrew Aish. He tried to kick it forward. It didn't work. Peter Bubner with it now. Smothered off the boot. Another chance for Payne. He can't handle the wet ball. Thomas. Oh, nice little pull back by Thomas to get his kick forward. And he'll find Andrew or Michael. Michael Aish it is.
Yes, he really has played a top game today, Michael Aish.
Across the ground, and this could pay off. Nice move. No, Jenkins couldn't handle it. He's going to win himself a free kick.
I couldn't see that.
Elbowing out is what umpire Schofield was signifying.
I thought Russell Shields was entitled to keep running. He was taking as much risk as Danny Jenkins was, actually. He had no idea that the ball was almost in Jenkins' hands.
13 points to break at the moment. We're 22.5 minutes into the last quarter, and Jenkins lines up.
Touched the man in the mark, I think.
Certainly not big enough. Hannum grabs it off the pack. Scoots it out, but there's Redlegs jumpers again. Maynard. Maynard turns, waits for the hand pass. Keith Thomas, left foot quickie to Menzel. Can't quite take it. Tries to force his way through. Oh, he could be lucky.
Yes.
They sometimes play that holding the ball, don't they, Graham?
Well, I thought it was.
Try to run your way into a pack.
He took the odds to try and get through it. He didn't, but Bob Schofield was close enough to think that the boys had his hands clamped.
He plays around the ball as Connolly works it to the line, and he'll be happy to see it over. Centrals have the break. Time is running out for Norwood.
I think you'll find umpire Schofield decided his arms are hemmed in where he couldn't give a punch if he wanted to, but a bit fortunate, I felt.
Peter Bubner the tap, but McIntosh read it off the pack and puts it right in towards Roberts, over his head in fact. Bohm versus Roberts. Bohm is there. Roberts has turned around. He's got it. He's picked it up. He's fallen over. And Bohm is going for the ball. He's not on his back.
No. Well handled, Stephen Bohm.
Oh, it's tight. 13 points still.
I thought Roberts given half a chance there, might outmaneuver Stephen Bohm, but it wasn't to be.
Tossed up in the air. That's over the boundary line, and Central's managing certainly to see the seconds tick by.
24 minutes gone, and Baum knows it. That's Coach Baum.
Neil Hyden and Keith Thomas both a kick away from the play. If Central do get the ball, it'll go straight to a Norwood player, I tell you.
Tap was from Kelly. Desperately looking for the legs jumpers. Not there. Jenkins couldn't take it. So another throw in. This is all in Central's favour.
Peter Bythorn screaming out. Somebody to cover Keith Thomas, hanging back, kick behind the play. Then you've got Neil Hyden behind him again if the ball's a longer kick.
Norwood need 3 scoring shots. Down goes McIntosh. Free kick not paid. Rene Van Dommel in there with Kelly. Van Dommel out the side door. Hearn. And over the boundary line again as the rain starts to get heavier here at Football Park.
McIntosh got up very slowly indeed that time.
Central still haven't woken to this loose man to kick behind the play, although Thomas has moved up the ground now. It's where the action is. So
the heavier the rain falls, of course, the more advantage to Centrals.
The less chance of scoring for either side.
Right. Another throw in. Kelly was up. Bubner won it for Centrals though. Aish turns it back in the hope that someone can pick it up. And Centrals though. Van Dommel. Out he goes wide to Connolly. Connolly's kick is a boomer. Right up to the centre of the ground. Great mark.
Had to be a mark.
Well, unless it was touched just before the
oh, no, it's Robert Fraser again. It was a mark, all right.
And Taylor's quick to play on.
With 15 metres. Goes short to Gallagher, who just picks the mark up. The handball. The running player is high.
No percentage in that.
Thomas, Sluice, Halliard, Menzel. He's in trouble. Down he goes without the ball. Away comes Fraser.
Holding the man.
Had gone, and it will be Menzel's free kick.
Now, Robert Fraser, I hope we'll give him the ball. Not lose another 15. It's not on.
Menzel. Desperate need for the legs to take this one out of the air. And it's difficult. Bubner was in front for the Central Districts. McIntosh has got it. He's onto the left boot. It's going to go through. The game's still alive here. It's just into time on. We're 25 3/4 minutes in, and the difference is 7 points.
And the Bulldogs held on to win by that margin. They kicked 10 goals 11, 71 points to Norwood's 9 goals 10, 64, and that's the first time that Centrals have beaten Norwood at Football Park. The goal kickers for Centrals, Platten 3 and Fraser 2, while for Norwood, Payne 3 and Michael Aish 2. And the stats from Football Park this afternoon from that game: kicks 184 to Centrals, 193 to Norwood. The marks 34 to 52. The handball 74, 101. Free kicks 29-28. The rucks out of centre 15 played 8, and the scoring shots 21 for Centrals and 19 for Norwood. And after the game, Keith Conlon spoke to jubilant Centrals coach Kevin Neal.
Kevin, congratulations, particularly as this makes it 4 out of 5 for the Dogs. What's been the formula?
Well, I don't really know, Keith. I think we played so poorly early on. I think all the blokes really wanted to improve, and while we haven't sort of put together more than a good half probably of football, we still are managing to win. And I think we're improving a little bit each week, and another 3 or 4 weeks, I think we should be somewhere around our best. So it's fairly heartening. The blokes, conditions weren't all that good today, but they kept out. There wasn't much in it. I'm not taking anything away from Norwood. It's a pretty tight game all through.
It was a game that could have become very spiteful, given that they were very hard conditions and a very hard body contact game. But I thought that the players, in fact, kept their eye on the ball all day.
Well, I thought that was a good part of it, and there was some real hard clashes out there, but most of the blokes got on with the job, and no, I thought it was played in pretty good spirit.
Did you have to adjust your game plan, given that by the time you got out there, the ball was already going to be very wet, and it was going to be a windy, wet, hard day?
Oh, well, not really. I don't think it changes it all that much. The basic principles of the game still got to be adhered to. You still got to try to be first to the ball. You just got to keep your eye on the ball a bit more because it spends more time on the ground when it's wet. But, we knew before basically the game on the way down here about 12 o'clock that it looked like it was going to be wet.
Young McGrath did a great job for you today, but then seemed to cop a fairly heavy shoulder injury. You got any idea how he is?
Well, I haven't asked Mullet, but if I ask him, I know what his answer will be. There's nothing wrong with it. You can't get him to admit he's sore anywhere. He's playing very well. He's been a part the last 2 weeks, especially of a real good centre line that's given us a lot of drive.
And obviously the new players that you've managed to pull in recent weeks, particularly Shields today, had a big game for you.
Yes, he's played very well. He's had one game that wasn't too good. His other 3 have been real good. And again today, a lot of people said the conditions wouldn't suit him. I thought he played pretty well again. O'Reilly, being a big man, a strong grab, the conditions didn't suit today, but I thought he represented pretty hard and he bores in fairly well, and he's a good acquisition as well.
Well, you've got a couple of big games to come now. You've got two games against other sides in the 5, Glenelg and Sturt. Anything in particular that you'll look for there?
Oh, just 2 points
each week.
That'll do. Well, that's all we're sort of working on, and each week's another different set of circumstances. And now this game today really doesn't have too much bearing on what happens next week. And we've got to readjust and set our sights and get ourselves ready again for next week's game.